Soulful shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse of only a few who make me feel like I be 10 feet. Some soulful shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some social shit for everyone.
Yo. What's going on, people? What is popping? Hope everyone's doing blessed this morning. Sorry, man, I've been running around like an absolute madman trying to sort out a few bits and bobs. But I hope everyone's blessed, man. Hope everyone's blessed. And good morning to everybody, man. Good morning. We're here, Liverpool versus West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Third round is our first fixture in the tournament, unlike some of these other shit teams who have been playing second round competitions. That's for the peasants. We don't do them things there. And I can't even remember the last time Liverpool were in a second round of a Carabao Cup fixture. Someone would have to do their Googles because I ain't doing that shit. I'll leave that to the Manchester United and Chelsea fans. But I'm joined this morning by Harris. Harris, good morning to you, bro. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, man. Yeah, as I said, I was just running around, just trying to sort out a few things I've got to do for today and after the stream. But I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. You know, chit-chatting with Arsenal fans on Twitter. Well, I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah. No, it's been an eventful morning. Big up everybody inside the building. And as always, people, we are en route to 2K subscribers. So please, you can see the sub count already. We're on 1637. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Big up ends in the building. Hope you're doing blessed, my bro. Guys, if you didn't watch last night's episode of Both Sides of the Coin, please make sure you watch that. That was the best episode that we have done thus far. There are many more episodes to come. So please make sure you do go and watch that and subscribe to Football with Ends. Big up Honesty in the building, my bro. I will get to that comment in a sec. Big up Lee Wizkid in the building as well, man. Hope you're doing bless this morning. Let's get to this real quick. Liverpool are ready to provide the reassurances necessary to secure Trent with a new and improved long-term contract. Alexander-Arnold's priority has always been to extend his stay at Merseyside. I'll see it when I believe it. Harris, chat to me, man. Today's game, obviously, you know, bare people have obviously spoken about like rotation and all that kind of stuff, and you know, players that they want to see play, which is obviously understandable because of the nature of the fixture. How are you kind of seeing the game in terms of like just an overall kind of look at it? And do you yourself want to see some changes from our normal lineup?
From the game as a whole, I'm looking forward to this game because we get to see Chiesa. I don't think we'll see him for like 3 minutes like last time. I think we'll see him for longer. But Slot said he can't play a full 90. So I would expect him to start and then come off the bench. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to offer in a Liverpool shirt. And then looking at changes, I think Slot will make changes because this is the time to make changes. It's not the time to make changes when we're I wouldn't say going for a league, but I would say I'm saying more or less seeing what happens in the league. Like in terms of like if we're second place at a couple points behind City or Arsenal, then I would say yeah, we're in the title race because it's like we've got a new manager. He hasn't been in a title race in the Premier League before, so this could be a bit like what's it called, flavor of the month with Slot. So I do expect changes. Like I said, this is the time to make changes. So yeah.
No, man, I feel you. And yeah, I kind of echo that, to be honest. I think I agree. We got Ali in the building, we got Christian in the building. Yeah, I agree. in terms of the match in itself. You know, there's something I was going to get to, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that obviously in a minute. Obviously, I got here, and this is Mr. Indicator. I saw this yesterday, and listen, I don't look at this account. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, to be honest, but I don't look at this account as any real credibility. But I will give it some because they have got most things right as of recently. But obviously, they were just talking here. I saw this last night. And I said it was kind of interesting. He had 3 points, which was, we understand Zubimendi's agent met LFC officials in London on Monday night. Reliable source has told us that high-ranking FSG officials are currently in Saudi Arabia regarding investment, and Leicester City and Ipswich are making loan inquiries about Endo. So let's start with the first one. We understand Zubimendi's agent obviously met the LFC officials. We've spoken a lot about Zubimendi. And I know we spoke in the chat as well, you know, about, you know, Zubimendi and, you know, other players. What in regards to him, would you be happy if we signed him in the January transfer window or in the summer? Or do you think Liverpool should start pivoting to another player?
The thing is, who else is out there at that level? I think Zubimendi is a good player, and I think he could do. I think we'll see more of him in a better team. So it's more it's not like he's rejected us for like Arsenal or something, and then that hasn't gone through. He's staying at the club, but I think people are upset of how it went down.
Yeah,
like in terms of like agreeing with the club, with Hughes, that I'm interested in coming, and then last minute he's having second thoughts. So it's not like he's rejected us and gone to another club and that hasn't worked out. He stayed at the club, which I would be more lenient to. I would take him because, like, look at our squad depth, like in midfield for those two number 6 positions. Like if McAllister or Gravenberch gets injured, I'm not looking forward to seeing the replacements. So I feel like Zubimendi is needed in the team. Is there anyone else out there? We did discuss this yesterday. I said Reinders, but he's not solely a number 6. Like a proper in terms of, that's not his best position. He can do that role, but that's not where you want to see him on the pitch. I would rather see him as like a number 8. And I said Charlton. I'm not sure how you feel about Charlton, but I think Charlton's a very good player. The likes of Barcelona are onto him. And I feel like everyone's starting to see his qualities now. So I would take Zubimendi. I wouldn't mind it. But there would be that awkwardness with some of the fans in the club with what happened.
Yeah, of course.
Like I can't imagine him doing a Liverpool interview saying, "Oh, I always wanted to come here."
Definitely.
If he says that, I'm gonna laugh because that would be funny.
Yeah, nah. He can't do no. You know, it's bro. There's been so many players I've seen. Yeah, they'll join a club like what's his name? Gio Reyna.
Oh, Gio Reyna.
Remember, you see Gio Reyna. Obviously, I don't know if he's back at Dortmund or not. I don't even know where
he's at. Nottingham, I think.
He's at, okay, cool. So he's still there, yeah. So you see how he joined last season, yeah. When he joined, yeah, he must have done obviously the interview in it, like just talking about the joining the football club and blah blah blah. Obviously been injured and wasn't playing for Dortmund at that period of time, yeah. And I'm sure in the interview I was reading about, because I was so baffled at the move. I was like, right, they got Gio Reyna, and I'm sure he said something not that he always wanted to join Nottingham, but the way he spoke about them, I remember sitting there thinking, brother, there's no way that you said in your head, yeah, I would love to play for Nottingham Forest. No disrespect to Nottingham Forest.
No footballer that plays at Dortmund, has said, I would like to play for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, that's a myth. I was like,
you're looking at the next step up, not the next step down.
Yeah, and that's not even the next step down. That's like the next 2 steps down or something like bro. Like I was like, what? But then I said, you know what? The game is the game. So you're right, Zubimendi. You can't come here and try to do the, I've always wanted to join. Like for me, I feel like you got to just kind of skip that one. do you know what I mean? Like, or divert that kind of, that kind of question into making it sound, better than it is. Sorry, go on.
I think Savio said something like he used to watch City when he was younger, and I was like, really? Because you see
Yeah, see,
all these Brazilians are looking at Real Madrid and Barcelona. No
yeah,
one's looking at Man City at that time. No one was looking at City like that. If I was to say, like, let's say if I signed for Man City and I said in an interview, I've always wanted to sign for the club. I know you, Jerry, and the others will be looking at me sideways because you know that my team has always been Liverpool. And
Nice.
and also you would also know that my team is also Barcelona as well. Yeah.
No,
Me saying, I've always wanted to sign for Man City, it's a bit,
bruv,
it's a bit mad.
It's a bit mad, man. Big up Tyler Jones in the building. Love for the super chat, bro. Like, honestly, love, much appreciated. I don't see a comment, so whatever you put in the chat now, just put it up there, and I will read that out for you, man. But love every single time for the super chat, man. Big up. Honestly, he's obviously putting here Liverpool preparing to raid Bayern Leverkusen for a trio of players: Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Ezekiel Palacios. Let's wait and see. Big up LK in the building, man. I hope you're doing well, my bro. Bro, you're 20 years old. There's no way you were sitting there watching fucking Manchester City when you was younger. Let's even say we'll go back 10 years ago. Let's just even say that, yeah. Just to be kind, I'll say, all right, 10 years ago. So what, 10 years ago, we're talking 2014. Yeah, nah, you wasn't watching Manchester City, bro. Trust and believe. Obviously, they won the league that season, I think. Yeah, 13-14 season anyway, they won that league, but you weren't watching City. Like, why do players lie? Why do they always think that we're dumb? Like, say we haven't been watching football in the same time span that you've been watching football. Like, bro, like, we're all here, you know? We're all here. Big up Red for Life in the building, man. Like, it's so silly. We'll go to the next point. Obviously, the reliable sources, apparently. And big up, by the way, I like I say, guys, I know he's a parody, but he, at the same time, I'm like, he gets more things right than the big account. So I don't know. Reliable sources told us that high-ranking FSG officials are currently in Saudi Arabia regarding investment. I'm going to ask you this, Harris, yeah? And I know, listen, we're not going to know. And this is just all guesswork. So, I don't want you to feel like you're on the spot. If Liverpool were to sell, if FSG, were to sell the football club, how much do you think they would sell the football club for?
In terms of, like, if they want to share the club?
Or no. As if they were they wanted to sell the football club and said,
as a whole, just like, get rid.
Yeah, like, as in, cool, they're done now with their whole thing. They've done everything. Cool. Now they want to, what I mean? They're gonna give the reins over to a whole new owner and all of that kind of stuff. How much do you think they would sell the football club for?
You know what? I've never thought about that. So I'm not even sure.
I think it'll be I think they'll do one of two things. I think they'll do exactly what you just said there, which is they wouldn't sell the club completely, but they might get, like, they'll still have some type of percentage in the football club, but they will give majority to, say, let's just say, for example, to the Saudi, whoever this Saudi Arabia investment. Big up Tyler. Yeah, he's saying here enough to buy the Vegas NBA team and extra profit. That's exactly what I'm thinking in my head as well. That's what I think they would likely do, is because I know they're trying to do this NBA thing in Vegas. They're really trying to, pattern that all up. So I think they would do that plus enough, to make that extra profit, whatever that is. I don't know what the actual amount of how much that would even cost them, to be honest. I know Ali's saying 4 billion. I think they will go more, I think these men are going to be like, nah, man, we'll do 8 billion, but we still want percentage of shares. Like, we still want, I don't know, we won't be the majority shareholders of it, kind of thing. Like, I think it'll be something like that. So that's why I said I didn't want to put you on the spot. It was just, what kind of number do you think, Liverpool would kind of do? But I do think that, I mean, it depends. I think a lot will depend also as well, because we see that Everton have now got new ownership. I believe, I think I saw something like this the other day about them getting like a whole new owner. I think when it comes to this, a lot will depend on the situation with Manchester City a little bit anyway. I think that will play a part into how people start to view certain things moving forward, because Liverpool are lucky. And I think, listen, give credit, don't give credit to FSG, whatever you want to do. On a business side of things, they have done a fantastic piece of business with Liverpool. Bought it for 300 mil. We all know it's worth billions right about now. Obviously, of course, it helps with the manager winning things and, being a successful team, being a good team, marketable and stuff like that. Yes, but listen, they've done some good stuff, right? So I think that they're in a position right now where either you think, you know what, I can kind of stay in this for a bit of the long haul, so to speak. I can kind of continue this, especially if Liverpool, for example, start winning. But let's say we do want to give, ownership. Liverpool be in a good position, unlike a Manchester City who were nobodies prior to them getting taken over twice. Well, twice with the whole, first they had the ownership thing, and then whatever happened there, Sven-Goran Eriksson days, and then obviously, Sheikh Mansour obviously coming in and, doing his thing, right? I feel like Liverpool, because of where we are at the moment, if we got investment or we had a new ownership or a new structure, however, I don't know how it would work, but if we had something new, I think Liverpool would probably be looked at anyway. Obviously, we don't know. I feel like they'd be an absolute force, because we don't need to do what Newcastle are trying to do, which is, unfortunately for them, Newcastle are not a big club. They're the biggest club in Newcastle, but they're not a big club globally. So they've still got to work from the ground up to get them to that position. However they do that. And obviously they're still working on that. Yes, they've got the money, but they still need to work on the market inside. Manchester City, again, they've also had to work. Obviously now they're there in terms of being a big club. Well, yeah, I would say, yeah, being a big club right now. So they've had to work on it for years. Liverpool are already a massive football club. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if an investment was to come in, Jesus Christ, I can only imagine what that would even look like, moving forward, in terms of, imagine you got to sign, buy Liverpool Football Club, and you had all this money that you were able to spend, thinking about the place that FSG have left us in, which is they've been able to, allow us to actually, even though we don't spend money, and I know we can cuss about that, but we're in a position where, you know what, we haven't been spending money, so we actually have money to actually spend. So if a new ownership was to come in, maybe they might look at things different and say, nah, we're going to make this team super solid already. And they know that Liverpool are always still making money anyway. We're bringing in a lot of cash. More often than not, we finish in the top 4 anyway. So Champions League places are usually guaranteed in the last 5-6 years, kind of thing, with Liverpool, bar the one season, right? We're usually challenging, at the top end of the table. We've got good players in our team. We're doing well enough for them to be I think anyway, just my personal opinion, where I think you buying Liverpool might be a stroke of genius. Obviously, it's going to cost billions. I get it. But I do think that, it would be kind of a, stroke of genius, man. I don't know what you think in regards to that.
It's more or less the same what you've just said. I mean, I think you've pretty much just covered everything up with of what you just explained with the team. But you know what I was thinking? You know how City are linked with Girona, is it?
Yeah. That's one of their clubs, whoever it is. Yeah.
I would like something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I think we're trying to do that now, though. To be fair, are we not trying to pattern that now?
I've looked at the Savio signing, and it's he's one of them players that your rivals have, that you want, and they're so young and they have a lot of potential. So it's maybe we could have something like that where we look at talents. I think I heard one time that we were trying to do it with some Brazilian club or something like that. I would like something like that to happen, but I don't think too much about the club side of things, such as the owners. I'm just here for football. I'm just here to watch football.
Yeah, no. Listen, bro, I'm with you. Listen, look, I personally, I don't care, because
because I see it every day on Twitter. Yeah.
Big up, I said Tyler Smith. Nah, big up, bro, Tyler, my bro. I don't know, maybe you woke up on the right side of the bed, bro. I appreciate the love every single time, and big up for the super chat. That's facts. If FSG always plans to sell for profit from the beginning. They have actually been good owners. Look, Tyler, listen. When FSG leave, if they ever leave, you know, and I'm still doing YouTube, I don't know how long that's going to be. But if they leave, I promise you, the conversations that are going to be had, they're going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting because...
So keeping the balance.
Bro, like... Okay, I'm going to put it to everyone like this, yeah? And listen, I also will complain at times. I do think they need to invest a little bit more, right? 100%. 100%. I do think you didn't need to invest crazy amounts, but you could have at least invested a little bit more. So I will say that. But what I will say though is, bro, how many clubs do you know are absolutely fine in terms of the profit and sustainability? Like how many, like these times, it seems like almost every club is having issues, you know, along that kind of like, or every club is being looked at. Liverpool are not ever being looked at for that. We're good when it comes to the money side. Look how much money we bring in, whether that be from merchandise, you know, game revenue, and all the other, you know, kind of things, you know, in and around. Look at the kind of deals that we're doing, potentially the whole Adidas situation, or like Liverpool obviously being sponsored by Adidas potentially next season. I think that's basically done and dusted now. How much money that's going to bring in, like, bro, I promise you, in terms of money and business, these guys have done calm. Now, like I said, I agree. There are times where I have said, brother, I'm not even asking you to go and sign Mbappe, but I beg you just give man an extra 30-40 million. And I'm not even asking for a lot. I'm just saying just add a bit more, because then that's all we need to get this player over the line. Like, we don't need 80, 90, 100 million. Like, sometimes it's we've got enough here. Like, come like Football Manager, you've got 60 million in your transfer budget, but the player you want to buy is 75 million. So you're like, I can move the wage a little bit, but it's a bit techie. Instead of me trying to sell all of these players and then let me just add a little bit more change, and then we can get that one player, because that's all I need at the time. But what I will add to that is, I'm also not going to sit here and act like if we had signed certain players, that would have been the reason why we would have won a Premier League here and there. Brother, we lost the league by 1 point twice. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like that's an extra player's worth. Like, so I can also see from their perspective as to, well, why am I going to give you more money and you only lost the league by 1 point? I don't feel like you can equate that to it's not like you lost by like 20 points and you're like, brother, we need to spend money. Like, you lost by 1 point. So I don't feel like that's a player's worth, if I'm being honest with you. I look at that as just more about what the manager
team performance.
Team performance. Like, managers needs to back up.
Because if you look at the games like in the 21/22 season, the games that we drew and the games that we threw away, such as Brighton at home, Brentford away, we've had so many chances to get over the line, and it's the finest of margins in football. If like at the time when we drew to Brentford, I remember saying, "Oh, we'll probably like kick on from this and do well in the season." It's come down to 1 point. Let's say I remember Jota having like an open goal or something. I remember, you know, if he slots that in, it's 4-3. You know, that contributes to us winning the league. But yeah, and there's so many chances that we can talk about. But City, they always get over the line, so we can't go and say, "Oh, we need a new player, such and such," when we lost the league by 1 point. Yeah, you can probably strengthen because we had injuries at times, but not like a player that is like Mbappe level.
Yeah,
I would say.
Exactly. No, bro, I 1,000,000% agree with you there. So that's why I'm with the whole. And listen, this isn't an FSG show, but I just found it interesting when I saw this. But I do think that if we all really sat down and really went into the details of everything, I don't think you'd be that mad, because nobody wants, like I said, I'm with everybody in terms of, yo, just give Klopp an extra 20-30 million, at least, just a little bit, just a little bit. No, we're not asking for a lot, just a little bit. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I hear what you're saying, Hollywood, where you're saying about Fekir, but would he really? Would he have been the difference kind of thing when we're drawing to Spurs? You know what I mean? When you're losing to, like, I don't know. I don't see him being like, obviously we don't know, and it's all hypotheticals. I get that, but I don't feel like it would have been that kind of thing. Like, unless we sign like Haaland of today, back then, then Fez, I would say, okay, well, we had an opportunity to sign the Haaland. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I can understand, that kind of POV. Yeah, like something dumb, like, okay, maybe we would have been able to, if we signed Mbappe, then maybe, okay, fair enough. But remember, we weren't talking about those kind of players. It was the Fakirs and, people of that kind of ilk. So I don't believe that. And even Jude Bellingham wasn't like all that in a bag of chips back then. He was good. Obviously, you could see he was becoming a good player, but
he's been the same player for time.
Yeah,
it's just like he's in a better team and he's in a more glorified position where he can get more goals. Because I'm telling you, if he played number 8 for Real Madrid, like solely as an 8 box to box, we're going to see the same Jude Bellingham for Borussia Dortmund. It's just now he's been moved to number 10 where he has to crush the box late. He has the perfect physique for that. 6'2", he's big. He's good in the air, and yeah, listen, he's good at crushing the box.
You tell Savage that, by the way. I just you let Savage know that.
Why is that? What's his opinion?
Obviously, Savage is a Madrid fan, isn't it? Like, so you tell Savage that, and you see the response that you get with him, man. But listen, look, as I said, man, it is what it is when it comes to the whole FSG thing. I'm not here to get into bog down into all of that kind of stuff. Like I said, that's going to be a later conversation because, it is a conversation, but I think it's a grown-up conversation, at times. So we'll wait and see. And the last bit of news that I saw, or the last bit of thing here that I saw here was obviously Leicester and Ipswich making loan inquiries about Endo. Okay, I'll ask you this here. Would you let Endo go in the January transfer window without knowing whether or not we're going to sign someone?
So we could sign someone, yeah?
Yeah, there's a possibility. Okay, I'll make it easy for you. I'll just make it super easy. We signed Zubimendi in the January transfer window. Would you let Endo go?
Oh, yeah. You can come out, yeah.
Okay, we don't sign Zubimendi in the January transfer window, and we don't look like we're going to sign anybody else. Would you let Endo go?
Because of the system we play, and what I saw in pre-season, I'd rather just let bro go. I think there's other players that can do a better job there than Endo. I wouldn't say Trent solely because I don't trust Trent in those positions. Like I'd rather someone that is actually a midfielder go and do a job than rather shoehorn a right back into midfield who's not great at the job, if you get what I mean. Like for example, like in the Euros, we shoehorn Trent into midfield rather than put in an actual midfielder like a Wharton, a Mainu, a Gallagher who's solely used to doing jobs like that.
Okay.
Not saying that, yeah. Even though Mainu was moved into midfield towards the end of the tournament, but putting Trent there in the first place, giving him the number 8 and everything, just shoehorning him there. I'd rather a midfielder that has been doing that for years go into a tournament and start a position and give you a 7 out of 10 rather than a fullback that doesn't know the role as much and doesn't do I should say doesn't have the attributes such as receiving on the half turn and everything like under pressure to do that role.
First. I'll just keep him, bro. I can't even lie. I just if we don't sign
in the
anyone,
basement.
As in, I'll just keep him there because I feel like with Liverpool, we always get into this kind of situation where it's like, oh, we've just let someone go. We don't bring anybody in. Guess what's going to happen? That player, whoever player who's like Gravenberch, he's going to get injured. Guaranteed. He's just going to get injured. Cool. When he gets injured now we're fucking sitting there twiddling our thumbs. Now, I know in terms of the system, the way that we play, Endo doesn't really fit that. But, bro, like, I just I'd rather just him being there just to at least add to at least what we do actually have. So whether you want to put Jones there or whether you want to put Morton or McAllister or Zabos, whoever, at least Endo is a backup still to them. So if worse comes to worse, like for example, the left back situation last season where we had Robbo getting injured, then Tsimikas, at least you've got someone else to play that position. Because imagine if we didn't have anybody who could play left back. Imagine if Gomez was also injured or we had sold Gomez. I don't even know who plays left back next season. I don't even want to think about it. Liverpool gonna have to just go to a back three, like as in real talk, go to a back three, and even then we don't even have the players. Like, do you get like we're fucked either way. So I don't want to be left in a position of, obviously I get it from an Endo perspective in terms of, listen, next summer he's off, like as in I want him to keep it moving, but because I don't trust Liverpool like that in terms of, you know, we get someone and then we get someone in. Yeah, like Liverpool giving me way too much PTSD when it comes to them things. So yeah, and Michael, bro, leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone, man. Like I said, it's Carabao Cup night. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no news. I was literally just browsing through Twitter and I was like, oh, and I saw this and I said, yeah, okay, cool. But yes, you are right. I don't believe anything this guy says, so to speak, but I'm not gonna lie and say that he hasn't gotten things right. Michael, leave me alone, man. But guys, please subscribe to Michael Talks Football. All right, let's move on to the next bit. Obviously, I saw this as well. So 17 GA in 6 games to start the season for Liverpool's attack. Salah, 3 goals, 4 assists. Diaz, what's that? 5 goals, 1 assist. Jota, 1 goal, 1 assist. Nunes, 1 goal. Gakpo, 1 assist. Do you think, and I want everyone to tell me in the chat, and I want everyone to think, do Liverpool have the best attack in Europe as a whole?
I would say.
Okay, so just to throw in the team so that in case people have forgotten, you got Bayern Munich, who have got Leroy Sané, Gnabry, Musiala, Harry Kane, Matisse Tel, Elise. You've got you got Real Madrid. Thank you, Hollywood. You got Real Madrid, who got Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo. Who else have you got there? Oh, Endrick. Yeah, I don't know who else he would count in their attack. I can't remember who's in PSG's attack, so I'm not going to count them. Obviously,
they're dog water, man.
They're dog water. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Harry said they're dog water. So yeah, do you think we have the best in Europe?
No, I think Bayern Munich do.
Bayern Munich.
I can't even say Real Madrid because I've like, if I'm gonna talk about watching football, I don't rate their team.
Okay.
Just from their performances.
Yeah.
Like I don't rate Mbappe up top. I think he has to be used on the wing to get the best out of him. But if we talk about like Bayern Munich's attack, Elise, Sane, Koeman, Gnabry, Musiala, Kane, Tel, and I'm gonna throw Thomas Muller in there as well.
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry, sorry, apologies. Thomas Muller as well. Yeah, I shouldn't have disrespected. Yeah,
that should be illegal, you know, because I've seen like Liverpool fan pages say, "Oh, got the best attack in Europe," but if you look at like player for player, when it comes to like decision making in the final third, yeah, we arguably have one of the worst when it comes to that. Because we'd score a lot more goals from attack point of view if we had very good decision making. But our attackers don't have great decision making since from last season. I clocked that. If we're talking about Firmino, Mane, Salah, then decision making in attack was excellent. Like you'll see proper team goals. We don't see team goals anymore like that from our attackers.
Hey, listen, I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen to what people are saying. So, Harris, I don't even disagree with what you're saying, but I'm like, fairs. Tyler said, Diaz has stepped up, to be fair. If we had a year plus of this data for Diaz, then it would be interesting. You are right. You are right, to be fair. And I think that's what, like what Harris is saying in terms of, you know, just really in terms of the consistency of this forward line, which is why I've always said about this forward line. I know, Michael, you put like Man City and stuff like that, although who they really, I mean, Haaland, the thing is, because Haaland is better on his own than our whole front line, maybe let's say on par with like Salah. And you know, I'll say he's better than our whole front line, right? So where he's better at the goal scoring than everyone else,
yeah,
I can see why Michael would put him thing. Barca.
Oh, that's another one. but they don't have that much depth. Like their front three's good, but
Yeah, no, their depth is,
it,
shit. Yeah. Not shit,
the
sorry. Their
depth
depth
behind
isn't.
it
It's
is
just not good.
average.
Yeah, it's average. Yeah, that's the best. Because like if Lamine Yamal gets injured, I feel like they'd be pissed. If Lewandowski, no, I think they'll be more pissed if Lewandowski
With
gets injured.
Lewandowski, because they don't
Yeah,
have a
because
proper. They have to play that what's his name, Victor guy.
no, it's
He's
not
not
fun.
awful, but like he's not. He hasn't got credit in the bank like that on like in leagues or anything. He's only come from the Barca B team, and that's a drop off from obviously like the other leagues.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, and Michael, this is what I'm saying. Like, Haaland is like 3 forwards on his own, so this is what I'm saying. He's better than everyone. So okay, I get where you're coming from with that. Real, obviously by name, 100%. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got from when you got Mbappe and Vinicius on the same team, you've kind of already
Rodrigo.
beaten everybody else. But even I didn't even need to add. If they just had 2 up front and it was those 2, I'd still say it was better than everyone else. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just you can't have Vinicius and Mbappe. Like, that's. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, Barca don't have a better attack than Real. No, they don't. No, I don't. I on paper they don't. This season they do, but in terms of on paper, yeah.
Like for like,
Bayern Leverkusen, yeah. Listen, they're another team. I want to be putting them ahead of everyone else, but I would. You can't sleep on
they're
them,
up
as
there.
Michael said. Yeah. You can't really think. How many players have to be
You know
involved in
what?
order for it to be a
I think
super top
AC
five?
Milan. I think AC Milan is another team that is on the Leverkusen level in terms of like player for player, not system. Because I think the system kind of hinders their attackers. I think their
Yeah.
attackers could do better under a better manager. If we're looking at like players like for like a I know he's not on form at the moment, but at his best, Leao was a monster. Then you got like Pulisic, who I've always rated. He's been unlucky with injuries. Tammy Abraham, I think he's a decent target man. He can link play. Giroud's gone, so I can't count him.
Giroud.
What's his name? The Nigerian Chukwueze.
Yeah.
He's decent. So yeah, on paper they're good attackers, but as a whole, from what I've seen this season, been a bit smelly.
Yeah.
Are there any
I
other
agree,
teams
honestly.
that
Yeah,
are missing?
I agree, honestly. If Rafinha does get again, this is what I'm saying. Like, one of their front line gets injured, at least Liverpool can at least say we've got more players who are like more or less on the kind of same level as to kind of cover. Whereas Barca don't really have same level players on the bench or even close to. Like, the level just drops immediately, like as soon as they sub someone. So yeah, I think for me it would be, if I had to rank it, I would say Bayern. No, sorry. I'll say Real, Bayern, and City. Real, Bayern, City, Liverpool, Barca. Yeah, Real, Bayern. And I'll be honest, the Bayern and Real, I feel like is closer than people think.
Yes.
City,
those
just
players
because
actually work well
Haaland.
together.
Yeah. And then, bro, listen, I don't care what no one says. You take a lot of their players.
You're bringing Thingy off the pitch. What's his name? Elise. I know he's not starting at the moment, but I think he should be starting on the left. Let's say Sane's coming on the pitch, and the fullback's been getting cooked all day. That's a good headache to have as a manager as well with those kind of players. I'd rather have the Bayern players than Real Madrid players, to be honest. I just prefer them. I'll be
He's not
honest.
gonna like that one, bro. He's better this your team, bro. Okay, let's put it this way. Yeah,
I just watched this season, and I just like, they scored like in 55 seconds yesterday. I turned the TV off because I don't like. I mean, not the TV because I was watching on my phone. I turn it off because I just don't like Real Madrid.
Yeah, no, listen, look, bun Real Madrid every single day or every day till Sunday, bro. But like in terms of their players, yes, I probably it's difficult. Like, man wouldn't like, come on, bro, Mbappe, Vinicius, like I'm taking those players every day of the week, like, and I would swap any player for those kind of players, right? But I have more love for Elise and Musiala than I do
Yes,
anybody else.
same.
So it's like I want those players instead. But if I really had to like write down, okay, you need to pick an 11, I think I'd probably end up choosing like the Mbappes and the Vinicius and stuff like that. Speaking of Vinicius, by the way, I heard that he's going to be the Ballon d'Or winner this season.
What's the point of leaking it?
Yeah, I know.
What's the
I
point?
know.
Where's
I
all the
know.
suspension? Like, it's been happening
Yeah.
the past few seasons. Like, I
Yeah.
remember, when Messi won it after the World Cup,
Yeah.
it was like everyone kept saying, "Oh, he's definitely going to win the Ballon d'Or," and it's not like it's just random people. It's actually journalists that are coming out saying, "Oh, yeah, he's going to win the Ballon d'Or."
Mm. No, it's
So
true.
what's the point of leaking it when there's no suspension?
Because now everybody kind of knows, and no, it's true. And to be honest, for me, I was about to say Rodri, but nah, maybe not Rodri from this season, like the last season just gone. Rodri deserved it the season before that. I thought like he should have won it then, but
I just want him to win it.
Yeah, same. I do just want him to win it. All right, let's move on. On a slot on Trent Alexander-Arnold. So this is just a quote that obviously taken from the press conference. So please do not shoot me. This is not the full interview. Go and watch that yourselves. But he was talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold defending and all of that kind of crap. I think with him, it is not about if he is capable of doing things. It's more, can his concentration rate constantly be in 100% focus? So this is what we talk about a lot, that he has to stay in, he has to stay active in every situation of the game, even if the ball is further away from him. But it's not that we or I taught him to defend in the last 3 months. He's won the league. He's won the Champions League. It's just getting him to understand all of what is necessary to play the best possible game. Now, quite a few people were, getting on to things. Some people saying, oh, like, don't call him out and, all that kind of stuff, which fair enough, whatever. You see, when you see this part of the interview or this quote here that he's obviously saying about Trent Alexander-Arnold, do you agree with that or do you disagree with Trent in terms of, do we think that sometimes he does lose a bit of concentration or do you think that's a bit of a myth?
100%. 100%. I'm watching him in games sometimes and it could be a concentration thing. It could be a bit of laziness and it could be just switching off. There's times where the back line, sometimes they look like a free and Trent's just jogging back. I think he's ball watching. He ball watches a lot. And it's not a good trait to have as a defender because you do get some defenders that are proper locked in and don't really ball watch that much. But it's a natural thing, isn't it? Like you're playing the game and you're trying to watch the ball, see what happens next with it.
Yeah.
But in terms of what he said, he obviously didn't coach him to be a good defender.
Yeah.
I think that you do see some good defending from Trent. Like he is aggressive as a defender. He's not like one to keep back and off. He will eventually put in a tackle or a slide tackle. But it's just whether he can keep his concentration in 1v1 duels or whether that's defending the back post. And that does come along with ball watching. So we said an outstanding defender. He's just an average defender because of those things. If he could clean that up, yeah. Who's someone that you would say is actually, let me say Gusto. Malo Gusto in terms of like 1v1 duels. Yeah. And I wouldn't even say his awareness is great like that. But in terms of his one-on-one duels, he's very good. I don't think there's many defenders out there because no one's a complete, like, there's no defender that's complete like that. Like, you can't say Wan-Bissaka is complete because we all know about him when it comes to the back post. Like, man had Nketiah dunking on him at the back post against Arsenal. So there's no complete defender out there, like I said. Like Kyle Walker, I don't think he's complete at all. So yeah, that's what I have to say on Trent, really. But I did see other quotes from him. I want to see if you do get onto them, so I'll wait and see.
Oh, to me, that was the only quote I actually cared about. Nothing else he said that.
The quote that he said was, he wants to be a defender that no one wants to come up against.
Oh, that
you see all of this talking business. Just keep your mouth shut, because stuff like this is going to be used against you. you see rival fans and probably even pundits may see that quote. Like, for example, a Roy Keane might say, Trent said this. He wants to be a defender that no one wants to face. He said that, so show me that. I can see him saying that after a game that Trent may have got cooked. Like, let's say against Man City, and he's been cooked by Grealish or Doku, and Keane's like said, didn't he say the other day he wants to be a defender that no one wants to face? One thing these pundits always like to say is attitude and body language. They always like to bring it up. So I can see something like that happening. So if you want to be that defender, you're 25 now. Show me that. Rather than just talking about it. Because these Liverpool players, they love to talk. They love to do all these interviews and say, like Manchester Sabozza, I say last season, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, Europa League. But put the effort on the pitch, because coming from him, it was a bit mad because he started to perform like he was putting on some spooky performances. But if that was coming from a Virgil, he was performing consistently, a bit rocky towards the end, then I hear it, because he always keeps the level.
Yeah.
So these players with these interviews, they need to relax with it, because when I'm seeing Trent say that, I was like, you've been the same for how many years as a defender? Like, you may go through a couple games where you're locking up a winger, but there's always going to be that one game where you do get cooked, because that's just how you are. You don't keep your concentration at all.
Bro, that was actually funny, man. I can't even lie. I said, just keep quiet. Like, you're saying that, don't stop talking. But we do like to talk. Listen, but I guess it's just a football thing, man. If you as a player back yourself, in whatever situation, and AZ, big up AZ in the building. You are right. The reality is he has come up against some really good wingers. We all remember the game, Champions League final against Ronaldo. But we've also seen him against some dead wingers and getting ripped.
Seen him, against, for example, Burnley last season against what's his name, Odobert. If he's an above average defender, then I would like to see him at least do it more consistently, because it's not consistent with Trent. Like I said before, it will be a run of games, then you might get cooked by someone else. We've seen in the season where we had enough injuries, the 22/23 season. Are you going to tell me that after seeing the defending from that season, that he's an above average defender? Plus the 20/21 season, where where Virgil got injured. If you look at that defending as a whole, it's not good enough. So, which is why I have to call him an average defender. I don't think he's awful at defending, and I don't think he's great at defending. I just think he's average. And he has faced some of the best wingers, but then again, he has been cooked by some of the best wingers, such as Kavicha. He's been cooked by Sane a couple times. He did lock him up that one time. Who else? He's been cooked by Vinny a couple times. So if we're saying best wingers, we also have to look at the ones that he struggled against, because that's just not a good argument.
No, facts. Yeah, you can't look at one side and
the
not
best
look
ones.
At the
other
side. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fact. And me, I you know me, I prefer that. Anyway, I don't like looking at just one thing sometimes, because I'm like, because then when someone brings up the other thing, everyone's staying on mute and that, and I'm like, well, why are you staying on mute now?
Yeah, he said
when
AZ just said Matoma, but Matoma's also cooked Trent before. Trent locked him on that one occasion from last season, but the season before that, where we faced Brighton away, and also when we drew 3-3, Matoma had a better of him. So
very true. There was a stat I'm trying to find it now. I'm just literally I should have sent it to myself, but there was something I saw. It was from last season for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and his the defensive stats were not that good. Defensive stats, the attacking stats were good, kind of thing, but the defensive stats were not that good. It was something about how many times he's been dribbled past, and all that kind of stuff. If I find it, then I will bring it up on the screen. But listen, look, I think with Trent, I feel like his skill set is not of a defender. Like, and I think we kind of all know that. Like, I feel like he is blatantly like a right midfielder, but obviously in the new age of today, he is a right back. But I feel like if he was a right midfielder and was doing everything he's doing now, I feel like then you would look at him differently. Because then I'll be like, well, I don't really care too much about your defending too tough. Like, I don't care about, because no one's looking at Salah's defensive stats and saying, oh shit, he's this, that, and the third. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be that deep. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But where he's a right back playing in this system and in this kind of formation, we do look at Trent a little bit differently because of that. Because it's like, well, bro, you're one of the last line of defenses, like, you know, playing in defense. So when you do come up against certain wingers and, you know, rare tear, so it's weird. Listen, it's weird with Trent. At the end of the day, like, he's a good player. At the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. He's blatantly a good player. I did think at one point he probably is still, maybe. I can't really think of many right backs, but he's a very unique type of player. I think he's very, very unique in terms of his skill set and what he can do. To me, though, if I was to place him in a position, it just wouldn't have been right back. Even though I know what he's done in that right back position, but I would have blatantly preferred to have another type of right back and use Trent differently. But the position I'm thinking of, we already have the world's best there, and Trent would never ever be able to operate in that kind of system. Trent under Sir Alex Ferguson during the heydays would be 10 times better than, in my opinion, than David Beckham. In my personal opinion, I think he'd be a better player. I think he definitely. No, not really. I've never really rated Beckham. I've never thought Beckham was ever that good. Yeah, I thought Beckham is super overrated. Super. Beckham was definitely not all that in a bag of chips, bro. Trust. Beckham was not all of that, in my opinion.
My uncle's played with him before.
Ask your uncle how good does he think he is. He'll probably say, yeah,
I did. Yeah. Because you see all of the players that I played with him, such as the Man United players. I've only heard them say, "Oh, how good he is."
No. Okay. So there's a difference. I'm not saying he is a good player. I just think he's overrated though. But he is a good player.
From the conversations that he's in.
Yeah. Like let's put it to you this way. Let's just. I always say this, and big up my guy. His name is actually Harris as well. Big up Harris, because me and him used to always talk about like how would you try and like evaluate like a player, like in terms of how great you think such and such is, right? So we used to always say, he used to always say, should I say, go one day, anyone who's sitting down, if there's any player you think, so we'll use David Beckham, go and write every single world 11 that you would ever do from the players that you've watched in your lifetime and kind of thing. Write world 11s and see when does your player that you're talking about actually get into a world 11. See how many world 11s you'd have to do before David Beckham makes a world 11. See how many he would have to do. Just go away one day and write down. You have to do a 1 to 11 goalkeeper, back for whatever system you want to play. Doesn't even matter. I guarantee you, it would take till you get to like the E team before you even see David Beckham in this thing. Like I said, he is a good player, but the way that people talk about Beckham, you would have thought he was this baller of a guy. And I'm sorry, I never looked at Beckham like that. I really, really never ever looked at him, like that. Big up Savvy saying, big up the man. Beckham was overrated back then, and now he underrated. But I think he's a much better footballer than Trent. I don't think so. I feel like they. I
don't think the level is that far.
Yeah. If you are gonna go down that route, I feel like it's super close. Like you could pick either or. Like Beckham of today would be what Trent is today. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's the same kind of thing. Like maybe I would say though, he was super fit. That's definitely not. He could last 90 minutes. That's something I used to always hear from like ex-players. They said, now Beckham was one of the fittest in the squad, kind of thing, which is crazy to think because in your head you wouldn't associate him with that, but he was really good at that. Obviously, moved into central mid. Like he's got a lot of similarities with him and Trent. Moved in central midfield and played that. But I'll be real, bro. Like I think Beckham was so overrated, bro. Like I used to sit there and think to myself, obviously, and this is why I don't rate Trent so highly because I'm like, well, outside of the guy being able to obviously put a ball on a sixpence, which by the way is crazy in itself, what the hell can he do? Like
I was
nothing. There's
discussing this
nothing
with my
you're
brother.
offering me. Like
I was discussing this with my brother, and I said I'm kind of getting annoyed with this hero ball now, and it's like outside of that, what else is there?
does he have
He
better
does have nice
footwork?
passes. Like if we talk
Yeah,
about
no,
like
no. Okay. If we talk about the plus points, yeah, Trent and Thing, we know passing. Okay, cool. So let's tick that box. So passing, they've got that lockdown.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. I'll give them that. Okay, no worries. Beckham set pieces way better than Trent. I'll give him that because he's dope at set pieces.
More consistent.
Cool,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can say he's more consistent, but even I think technique wise, I think he's actually better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So cool, you've got that in your locker. Engine, as Savage said, cool. He's got a better engine.
Is Savage in the chat?
Yeah, Savage is in chat. I like, what else are we like giving Beckham? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah. The thing is, Blues Clues. Yeah, I hear like that's great. That's great in itself. Origi helped us to beat Everton away. Like, Origi scored in the final of the Champions League. Like, I'm not giving them flowers for all of that stuff. Like, in terms of how I'm rating the player, I'm not giving him extra points for it. I'm like, yeah, that was just something you did. I'm not gonna give an extra point because that doesn't like it. How can I put it? That doesn't add to your ability, if that makes sense. It just kind of meant that, okay, you did this, which is, by the way, great, fantastic, blah blah blah, all of that kind of good stuff. No worries, yeah. But when we're talking about a player, like I said, go away and write down a world 11. I promise you, you won't see Beckham for donkeys in any, probably, like I said, until you get to like your E team, probably potentially before you even think about, oh yeah, let me put David Beckham in my team. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
only
feel like
Premier League that you would see him more close.
Premier League, yeah, because how many right wingers are we realistically putting in there? What, Ronaldo, Salah, and fucking Beckham? Yeah, that when you sorry, go on.
No, I said, are you putting him over Salah?
Who?
Beckham.
That's a myth. But I don't think anyone would, though. I don't like Beckham doesn't get put in that. He wouldn't get put in that kind of conversation, and I don't think any sane person would do that anyway. Regardless, again, I'm not trying to see. I don't want people to confuse what I'm saying. I think Beckham was a good player. He himself was a good player. Like, he's not shit. He's not dead. None of that stuff. He's a good player. But when we're talking about goats and that, bro, he doesn't even enter my mind when I'm having conversations. Like, as in, he's so far removed from whenever I think about a player. I'm like, Beckham, that ain't including you in no teams. Like, well, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you offer, I don't need that. Like, I don't need you to be able to. I'm good with that. Because there's like 10 other players I probably pick ahead of you in that one position in itself. Salah and Ronaldo being two of those players. And that's just two that I've just named. Like, if we probably went through a list, Iron Robin, I'd rather have, you know, there's probably more players if I was to actually sit here and think. But I guarantee that people would say that. That's why I say with him, like, obviously I'm the Fergie and all of that. Listen, that team back then was a dope team. Man couldn't chat to Manchester United at all. Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Roy. I can't chat to these guys when it comes to that. But I do think some of their players were overrated to the point where I'm like, probably, was you even that good? Like, maybe Premier League when everybody else was kind of shit. Yeah, fairs, you was the guys. But when we start having awkward conversations about other clubs, yeah, like it starts getting a bit. Eesh, you know what I mean, man, don't really want to.
Do you think Roy Keane is better than? You know what? In terms of
Savage,
legacy,
I get what you mean.
Course,
I get what you mean, Savage.
He's good. But as a football player, yeah, is Roy Keane? Can he chat to Thiago? No, at all. He can't talk to.
But they're kind of different players, though. It's difficult.
They're different players, but they play similar positions. But you have,
but they do, but they
Premier
do
League
like
all-time 11s.
Yeah, but I couldn't really. I wouldn't want to put Roy Keane with Thiago. Like, I feel like that's unfair because I'm like, well, Roy Keane is a million times better than Thiago at being a defensive midfielder. If I'm just asking him to tackle and pop the ball about, Thiago can't do that. Nowhere close to a Roy Keane. But if you ask me to do the other side of the game, bruv, obviously Roy Keane got a chat to Thiago. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's why I say I find it difficult with those kind of things. Like, I can't really compare those.
Okay, fair enough. Like, what about Thiago and Xabi Alonso?
Okay, you can compare those two, and I would probably take.
It's a hard one, yeah.
for my style of football, I would take Thiago because he epitomizes that Barcelona-esque. But I do think maybe Xabi Alonso might just pip it, you know. But I don't know, actually. I don't know. I don't know. Because Thiago's a better dribbler. Alonso's a better passer.
Watching Thiago live was crazy, you know. Like, I haven't watched Xabi Alonso
I don't
live,
know,
of course, but watching Thiago live was an experience that I would relive definitely.
Yeah, I probably, I would say Thiago over Xabi Alonso, to be fair. You get what I'm saying? I'd say that small Barca fan and Marlo. Harris
Yeah,
football snobbery, you
he's
man are too cultured. Yeah, we're too cultured. None of this boring, none of this boring stuff, Savage, bro. Yeah, I'm saying none of that boring stuff. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. But yeah, no, it's like I said, going back to obviously what Mike, I know he was the GOAT for that. I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not calling them shit or anything. Bro, come on, man. Manchester United, come on, 13 Premier League titles. I can't chat to that. I can never disrespect that. But I do think that some of their players are overrated. I don't care what anybody says, because like I said, if you were to then start putting some of these players up against other players, it gets real awkward, like super duper awkward. Super awkward. Super awkward. All of a sudden now, these men start dropping down lists. All of a sudden now, you're like, yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, not to say that they're not good players. You can still be a good player, but just overrated. We've seen it with how many players. So it's always like that. It's always like that. So yeah, man. But that might be a conversation to have. You know, I'm gonna do something like that. For when I start the memberships, I've got something planned for those kind of conversations. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned. In regards to that, let's head on to this. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, obviously speaking about, you know, the Carabao Cup. He says, in the next round of obviously they won last night. In the next round of the Carabao Cup, we're going to play the players who have played less minutes, or we're going to play the second team. We are not going to waste energy for this competition for sure.
Wow.
Harris, I'm going to ask you this. Do you care about the Carabao Cup?
Not really.
The fact that you're taking this long to even answer the question, bro.
If we get far, then of course I'll care. Like, all right. If we get to quarters, then okay, I think we should start taking it seriously. But I don't look at the competition as like, oh, we need to win that. Such as like a Spurs, you may look at it as, okay, we need to win that because they haven't won something since like, I think the last time they won something, I wasn't even born, and that's 2008. Like, I'm born in June, and the Carabao Cup's in like January, February time. I wasn't even born yet. So for teams like that, then I'll say yeah. But for us, for our standards, or how people hold us up to standards as a club, then no, I wouldn't say it's priority. But for first season, people could see it as, yeah, why not try win something in your first season? We don't know how he sees it because he hasn't said comments like Pep. Like, Pep's just basically saying, I don't give a crap about the Carabao Cup. Like, man's out here playing 16-year-olds against Watford.
Sorry, I'm laughing at a comment I just saw from Savage, yeah. But you're right. You're well, sorry. Let me not say you're right, because it's not factual. Let me just say I agree with what you're saying. Let me say that. I don't want people to think, oh yeah, what he said, it's not factual. It's just an opinion. And I'm generally just wondering what people's opinions are. Like I said, I don't want to lose any match, by the way. As in, I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, let's go out and lose. I'm not like, that would be dumb.
Let's see what happens.
I'm not trying to get bantered by my, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get bantered and, oh, you lost it. Bro, I don't want to lose any game. Of course not. I didn't want to lose to fucking Nottingham Forest, but we look, we're here now, you know, kind of thing. But to act like I care in a sense of, and everyone knows, Savage, you know this already. Everyone in the chat, you already know how I feel when it comes to Carabao Cup. It's really not anything I will get gassed. I'm not saying anyone is, but it's definitely nothing I get gassed about. It's definitely nothing that I care about until literally the semi-final/final. That is probably the only time I become interested in this competition. If you get knocked out prior to that, I promise you, I'll forget in in an hour after the game. I'll be like, okay, cool. What's the next game? Who we got next? That's kind of how it is. Like, I don't go into, and again, this is just me though. I don't ever go into a season and say, I'm trying to win that competition first. I'm not saying players don't do that. I'm not saying managers don't do that. I don't know what they do. I'm not in their meetings and stuff like that. I don't know how them kind of meetings go. But I feel like at times we sit here and act like, I think with the Carabao Cup, as Harris said, it's very contextual in terms of the teams and sometimes the players kind of thing. I always look at it like this. When Man City were always winning that competition, one, they were the best team in terms of they had a first team and they had a second team, which was like they do now, but this was way better than everybody else anyway. Like, it was just dumb. Even their second team was better than everybody else's first team, right? Cool, no worries. So when you're in those kind of positions and you're able to rotate, and sometimes you might even rotate I see Kevin De Bruyne playing third round against shit teams, right? Sometimes he just rotates and just plays players who can, come in and do this, that, and the third, right? When you're in that kind of position where you're a club who your realistic expectations are we're going to win everything, it just becomes a part of a collection of things. Liverpool, I feel, are in like the middle where we're not a club who realistically we begin at the season and we're like, we are going to win this like Man City would. And we're not Tottenham where we're like, man, we are like, bro, we ain't won nothing in like, as Harris said, since 2008. Like, we are dying to win something. Like, we need to win that because we just need to get over this hump of not winning any trophies. It will do the fans the world of good because we'll bring a trophy home that we just haven't won in young. Like, we're not in that position, and we're not in the City position. So like most other top teams, and really it's only Arsenal and maybe a Chelsea and Man United, they're in like the middle where it's like, yeah, and I'll be honest, I feel like Liverpool probably ahead of that because Arsenal haven't won anything for time. Chelsea are shit now. Man United are even shitter. So it's like we're in that middle gap where it's like we could win this and it could help towards whatever. But if we don't win this, we've still got enough gas where we can say we can still then this will help us to challenge and stuff like that. So I just think that like when I look at this competition, when people, I'm not saying I want to lose. I don't want to lose any game. I need to reiterate that for people to get twisted. I don't want to lose any game, but I promise you, I don't give a flying fuck if man was to get knocked out of this competition because I promise you, I'm moving on to the next game. Whereas I feel like some people will be like, oh, that's an opportunity missed, man. We could have won a trophy. I'm like, what, the Carabao Cup though? Is that like that's the trophy that you cared about? FA Cup I can get. That's why you never really hear me moan about the FA Cup. That's the FA Cup. That's literally the FA Cup. Like I can't. That's like the biggest domestic, competition that we've got. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, big up Michael, who said it here. Why is England the only nation with enough? Why? Like, why do we have this shitty competition?
Spain don't have any others.
Like
Italy doesn't.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, like why? Like we don't need this. Like I don't need this extra competition. Hence why I've said many times, bro, I beg you, just give this to the teams who are out of Europe and Championship and below. Simple. And then I think it will even be a better competition instead of Man City winning it 3 years in a row. Then Liverpool are gonna win it. Then Manchester. So really and truly, only the top of the top clubs. When was the last time we saw a Spurs, an Aston Villa, or Wolves, or even a team in the Championship, a Leeds United? Like for me, that makes the competition a lot better. No, I wouldn't even say look. Yeah. Sorry, Liverpool included.
Recently,
do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, come on, bro. Like that to me, I feel like we're degrading the competition anyway, just by being in here. Like I think Chelsea versus Barrow. What are we doing here? What are we really doing?
Yeah.
Here? Chelsea versus fucking Barrow. That shouldn't be a tie unless it's FA Cup third round and Barrow are the home team. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be having them kind of fixtures, man. Like, for me, that then makes it a little bit unfair on Barrow. Like, listen, man, it is what it is. But like I say, like these kind of things, and then on top of the, the top clubs like the Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Cities, whoever else is in Aston Villas and stuff like that. We're all into, as Tufu saying there, too many games now. Now we're playing. We've got 8 games in the Champions League. We still got to face. Now you want us to worry about this stupid Carabao Cup competition. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's a point where players will start to go on strike. I said Musiala. I think Kunde said it Rodri said something. Klopp was even complaining about it before. I remember a couple of times he was complaining about like the schedule, like the injuries, and it's true because I play football, you play football, and like sometimes fixtures when it's like a run of games, it does get tiring at times. But I think with us it's different because we don't get paid 500 bags a week or 300k, 100k. People just see it as like when those comments came out from Kunde and Rodri, people saying, "Oh, you earned this amount of money." It's not even about that. It's about your body because when it comes to your body, it's serious. Like look at Varane. Varane's just retired. Yeah, because he can't keep up anymore at all. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this guy was injured more times than he played for Man United. Like if we're talking about like minutes out, if that was a thing, he probably have more minutes out of the pitch than minutes on the pitch.
No, it's just, bro. Honestly, man. It's like I said. Listen, look. I'm not here. By the way, I'm not here to like. Listen, if you like, I say, if you like it, bro, that's like I really don't care edgeways. Like this isn't going to be one of those arguments I can have with someone. Like if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. I hear what you're saying. Honesty, yeah, run me. I hear all of that, and it's great. It's really, really great. If you can win all of the trophies, that looks good. But I promise you, in all of the trophies that you do win, the reality is the Carabao Cup is definitely not the one that anybody's looking at. In fact, you're more or likely going to just look at it as, I won a treble. Yeah, you won the quadruple, but the Carabao is always pushed to that side. Like that's the one kind of thing over there. But hey, you know what? You got the trophy. I hear it. Feyenoord, Johan Cruyff Shield. I don't know what that trophy is in terms of in Holland. I don't know if that's like their Community Shield or I don't know what that is, but fairs is that the Community Shield?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, if that's the case, then you know what I mean. It's fairs. Like I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just saying for me, I couldn't give two shits, and there's nothing you can convince me otherwise. There's no positive that you can try and throw at me to be like, nah, but gee, it'll be this and okay, cool. Hear what I'm saying? Liverpool won the Carabao Cup last season. Everybody told me that that'll be the catalyst for us to be able to push on and win the Premier League. Hear what I'm saying? Man got slapped in the Europa League and came third in the Premier League. So where the fuck was the catalyst then? It did not help, did it? It really didn't help. So clearly, it's not a catalyst that you think it is. These things can just happen, right? It's a cup competition. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Europa League, it's a knockout round. Like anything could potentially happen. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, like I said, there's not really there's nothing you can tell me that I'm going to be like, yeah, I hear that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not, and like I said, I don't mind if you do fuck with it. Like I said, I don't want to lose a match. I don't want to lose any games, but I'm not going to cry about it. Like, let's put it this way, yeah? If we got knocked out by West Ham today, the Nottingham Forest defeat will hurt more than this game. I promise you that right now. Thanks. To me, anyway, it will hurt more. And these times, that was only game week 4, and this is the third round of the of the Carabao Cup. But I promise you, I'll be more hurt with that. Even if we go on to win the league, I'll still be more hurt with that than I would be the Carabao Cup. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, it's one of those, man. Wigan, Birmingham, Bradford all made these finals. Birmingham were the only winners, I think, in that one. Don't remember Bradford winning it, and I don't remember Wigan winning.
Watford made the final, but
Watford also, yes. Watford also made the final as well. But listen, like I said, man, it was just interesting that he said that. And I think a lot of managers think it, but maybe just won't come out like he's just Pep is just Pep. He'll just come out and kind of say, kind of thing. But listen, man, I just think for me personally, it's too many games, and I just don't care enough to be like, yeah, I need my team in this competition to do this, that, and the third. I think give this competition to everyone out of Europe in the season, in the Premier League, and then Championship, League One, League Two, whatever. Let those guys have that competition. And FA Cup, that's where you can then start placing everybody else into it. That I've got no problems with. The only thing I have a problem with the FA Cup is I'm tired of replays. Bro, finish the game there and there. Let's just get out of it. Even if you have to do it where the lowest seeded team are the home team. If you have to do it that way, again, I'm also good with that. I'm really, really good with that. I've got no problem with that. So a Barrow versus a Chelsea, I don't mind if it's that, kind of thing. Savage is saying replays are done. Thank God. If they're done, then they're done. Because they were the stupidest thing since sliced bread. And they need to stop putting semi-finals at Wembley as well. That's another thing. But hey, that's my rant over, and that's it, man. let's move on anyway. Last thing I want to talk about before we actually get here for what we're actually here for, which is the Liverpool versus West Ham. And we'll do our lineups. Is I saw this. This is our. I think this is like the predicted. I don't know if this is guaranteed, people. I'm not 100%. I just saw this pop up online, and I saw it on footy headlines, and I've seen quite a few things. Harris, do you like any of those kits? If those were our kits next season, do you like any of them?
I like the red and the white one.
Okay.
I'm not too focused on the logo as a lot of people are. I don't think that matters to me really, but I like the design.
Okay.
It's nothing outrageous, but like in terms of how good it is, but I like it.
Mm-hmm. No, fair. The green one, I'd have to see that one in the flesh.
Yeah,
I need to see what that looks like first before I start thinking. The white one looks like Manchester United for some weird reason. The red one, Liverpool's red kits are just boring anyway, so I never really like Liverpool's red kits.
Is there any recent ones that you like?
The only kits, let me see if I got it here. Like, this one's all right. I'm trying to think of what kit I do like is this black thing, the black goalkeeper kit. I like that one.
Do you like any of the red ones?
The red ones, nah. I've never really liked them. Like, yeah, nah.
The closest one I've liked is the 21/22 season one. I liked that one. And actually,
which year?
The 2019. Actually, I take it back. I like the 2019 one.
2019.
We won the Champions League.
Oh.
I liked that one.
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, okay, I remember. That was all right. That was all right. The collar thing.
Collar.
When we won the Champions League? That kit was a collar.
Yeah, prime Virgil and that.
Yeah, that was a collar. Yeah, that was that had like a collar. Yeah. That was calm. It reminded me a lot of like 2001 kit.
Yeah, I wasn't alive for that.
I forget. Yeah, I said 08, you weren't even about. So I'll be honest, man. Like you know what I was saying. I think is it Brentford, and I saw Luton have done this recently, and I know they're not going to do this. By the way, I know this is just a hypothetical.
Oh.
But I would love for us to go back to the years of every 2 years we can change kits, bro. This buying kits every fucking season is annoying, bro. It is annoying because these times the kit now that we've got like for this season costs like, I'm sure my mum was showing me, it was 85 quid. 85, and that's for the normal, like the not even the what do they call it, the stadium. Why do I need to have a stadium kit, brother? Is it not just the kit? What's the difference between the two? Like, I'm not playing for Liverpool, I don't need the stadium kit. Like, it's not like I'm playing for Liverpool, so I need the stadium kit because it's gonna do extra something or help with the sweat, or I don't even know what it does. But yeah, these prices of these kits, man, they are ridiculous, bro. It is ridiculous. Yeah. But Mike, I'll be real. Even that red one, my boy got it for my birthday. Pick up Jimbo, man. He got it for my birthday, boy. Otherwise, I haven't bought a Liverpool top. Yeah, for time. I'm just trying to think. I was probably trying to think, like, for time. It's actually been a while. I'm trying to think what kit I have actually bought last. I don't think I have. I think it's more, I might even have an England top. I think I saw it at Sports Direct. They were selling it during not the Euros just gone, the other Euros that we had in England. I feel like I bought it then. Yeah. But not the England kit, like not the kit that we were wearing back then. It was, they were doing like deals on like all the retro kits. So like kits from like the early 90s and stuff like that. And I'm sure they had one for £15. And I remember sitting there saying, I just need a t-shirt. Like I just needed a t-shirt that day. And I think I just bought that t-shirt. I think that's the only kind of top that I've bought football wise. But I've been trying to look for some more, like for me, I'm all about the retro kits. I don't really like the new kits that I see today anyway. So I'm more about retro, like Liverpool back in the day. Like for me, they had like, when we had like the cream kit, you would have seen it like the season that Salah obviously bagged that Navigator bagged that Old Trafford when we beat them like 5-0. Yeah, I think it's what actually. Yeah, that game. But that color kit, we've had that obviously before. That was better than the one that we've had obviously recently. People remember the green kit, the green and black kit. Patrick Berger, people will probably remember that one. That's old school. I love that kit. That was my first ever Liverpool kit. No, I lied. My first Liverpool kit was the yellow one. It was all yellow and red, and I had the top and the shorts. I fucked with that kit, even though it was yellow, bright yellow. These times dark skin, bright yellow. You know how crazy that looks. Yeah. For me, the kits, like I said, it's just too expensive. And I'm talking, forget even for me. Let's just say, take me out of it. Cool. I'm talking even for my son to even go buy my son a football kit, bro. Do you know how much money? It's like £50. I'm like, I'm not spending £50 on this. These times I need that for other shit. Like to spend it on that. Hence why people just try and find other ways to go out and buy kits. And on top of that, Nike have been absolutely dog shit for Liverpool since they've come. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 2. Because you probably only rate like one kit that they probably had in that time. For when you're struggling to even think of kits, yeah, it's long. New Balance definitely had better kits. I will definitely say that. They definitely had better kits, man. But that is neither here nor there. Let's get to our lineups. That's what we actually here for. Man said it's for the Zubimendi GoFundMe, Fuck it, That is dramatic. All right, this is both of our lineups. Harris, you are in the black kit. I am in the red kit as the home team. Talk us through your lineup, man. You've obviously gone for quite a few changes in there, but you've kept in, of course, Virgil van Dijk. Chat to us, man.
I'm looking at this game and I don't want to make too much changes.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, I have made a few.
I was gonna say you've been
but I mean changes as in like to the point where none of these men have played with each other.
Yeah.
So like if I take out Virgil and put Gomez there, that's a back line they haven't played with each other at all this season. At least Virgil's played with Kwanzaa. He's played with Gomez as a sub, of course, and he's played with Bradley as a sub. I kind of want to keep that balance and leadership there because I don't trust Liverpool's defense at all without Virgil. Like, I'm not trying to see West Ham like Bowen hat trick at Anfield. So I do want to keep the balance there. So I've gone with a pivot of Jones and Morton, just giving a rest to what's his name, Gravenberch and McAllister. Then I need to see Cody on the left. Chiesa on the right. I started him because I saw from Paul Joyce that he is set to start. So if he's ready to start, then just let's start him in it. Then number 10, gone with Jota, bit of a shadow striker. Late runs into the box. I would like to see from him. Nothing really on the ball. Probably pop it off and move into space. I'd prefer him to do because I'm not trying to see Jota trying to skin up 2-man in the middle of the park. I don't think it goes well with the kind of player he is. Then let's start the man who scored a cross shot the other day.
A bit deep still.
I'm joking. Shall I rattle ends? Yeah, I don't see why we should take him out for this game. Let's see if Nunes can kick on from that. And then let's say if he bags 2 today or even 1, let's start him again on the weekend against Wolves. And let's just go from there. So I'm on the train where if a player, like for example, Nunes, if he scores a goal, let's just keep playing him until that dries out. Because it is a purple patch. I mean, it could be a purple patch. Same with Jota, because Jota does have purple patches as well. I think a majority of our attackers are purple patch players. So let's just see how it goes, and that does play into their hands as well, because if they're purple patch players, eventually their form will stop, so the next attacker could get a chance, and it kind of does keep the happiness with the players. It's not like with City where it's Haaland, where Haaland's just starting every week, innit? And then the other attacker doesn't get a chance, which is why Alvarez left. So I do like that kind of sequence with our attackers with being purple patch players.
Fairs. Oh, I was going to ask you though, seeing this lineup, obviously you got both Jota and Nunes starting. You don't feel like one of them should just be rested, just because otherwise, who else goes up front if say one of them gets injured, kind of thing?
Because Jota didn't play. That's why. So I'd rather just try Nunes again
Mhm.
and see what happens, rather than just take him out of the team, because I just want to see if he can kick on. So it's not it's not something that like I'm on. I'm 100% with doing. It's just to see if Nunes can kick on and how Jota didn't play against what team was it? What team did we
Bournemouth.
just play? Bournemouth, yeah.
Bournemouth. No,
So
Fairs. And I guess, bro, Savage, you're dumb. Like you're actually fucking dumb. The other point I wanted to make was obviously you got Tyler Morton in there.
I'd rather see.
Obviously, yeah. Okay,
Go on.
go on. Say no. Say what you're gonna say. Say what you're probably gonna say.
I'd rather see Morton than number 3. I'd rather see him there. With the system that we play, yeah, from what I was seeing from Endo in pre-season, it's given me enough PTSD to say I just don't want to see him anymore. Like I do like Endo. Yeah, he came in last season and did actually well, put in good performances. But for this system where you have to be good on the ball, your first touch has to be consistent. Yeah, when playing out from the back, I'm not trying to see Endo in that system at all.
Yes, no, it's a bit deep, but fair. Okay, fair enough. You're willing to put Morton in there. Fair enough. Was there anything else? Obviously, you got Gomez instead of Simicast. I think either or. I think that's kind of calm. I've got Bradley. You got Bradley. I've gone Gomez in the middle with Kwanzaa. You've obviously got Van Dijk. I hear that. I think me, Savage, and Enzo were speaking about that because I do think he might actually go. But then I saw something about Gomez playing, Kwanzaa playing, Bradley playing. So I was like, okay, let's see how that kind of works out. Midfield, I think midfield is where we differ quite a bit because obviously I've gone with Enyoni. Like I said, I just want to see him play. I don't really care about I think he's good enough to help us win.
Easy.
Yeah, so I'm not bothered like win, lose or draw. I'm just like, well, we can't draw, but win or lose, I'm just like, I just want to see him play. I think he can be a good player to kind of start with. And I think if you're going to start with him, I don't need another ball player next to you like that. I kind of need someone who can do the doggy work for you instead of having, say, a Morton, for example. I feel like those two wouldn't really work because they'll be quite similar in what they're trying to do, meaning the protection in front of the back four isn't necessarily going to be there. Whereas Endo, in my opinion, will at least try and provide that. Whether he does it or not, irrelevant. He will at least try to provide that. He'll get stuck in with the challenges. He'll put his foot about. Then he can pop it off. All I need Endo to do, if let's say that is the pivot, all I need Endo to do is tackle, pop it off. Don't do anything crazy. Don't try to dribble. Don't do just tackle, pop it off. Get the ball.
I think Morton can do that as well. I've seen him do stuff like that before, which is why
I'm not saying he can't even do that. I just let's put it to you this way: he's more experienced, he's stronger. Like it will work more in his favor. But Morton is way better on the ball, in my opinion, than Endo anyway, kind of thing. So when Morton can do what Endo can do, maybe not to the level, but he can do that. If he does win those tackles, I know then with Morton he can obviously pop it off. But I just think I don't need that level of inexperience against. At the end of the day, man, I'm still playing West Ham, so it's not like I'm playing Barrow. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Where I can say, I can put Morton and Enyoni. They can just run the rhythm, really from there. I've gone with Jones in the midfield. It's put him as an attacking midfielder, but I feel like he'll kind of still come back into that midfield and still help out every now and again. I even think that at times, if Enyoni was to play, I actually think that between Enyoni and Curtis Jones, I feel like they would just swap every now and again. Because I think I can see Enyoni making those forward runs, getting in behind, trying to get in behind or making that third man run, beyond their centre backs and stuff like that. I think I can see him doing that. And on the edge of the box, he's shown that he can kind of, do his stuff. So again, I would go with that. And then obviously up front, I'll go with Nunes, Chiesa, and Gakpo. I feel like that's kind of the same as yours, only difference is Jota and Jones. So yeah, Nunes scored in the last game. Let him play this game. Try and keep the confidence levels up with him. If you're trying to start him and play him, keep the confidence level going. Allow him to, hopefully play well. If he does, obviously the other side of the coin is that if he doesn't play well, you're left in a kind of a sticky situation. Gakpo, Diaz needs a rest, and Chiesa, I just want to see him play. I really just want to see him play. So yeah, and obviously we've both gone with the same goalkeeper, man. But let's do score predictions, and then we will head on out of here. What are you telling me, bro?
I have no clue. If West Ham goes strong, like for example their last lineup, compared to my lineup, you could say that they could get a result here. I mean, any team can. Like Nottingham did. Probably say 3-2 Liverpool.
But I have to just reiterate Liverpool, like just so that everyone doesn't think otherwise. I'll say 3-1. I think unless West Ham are gonna just turn it up. Obviously, their last game they weren't good. They really weren't good. I heard the crowd booing and stuff like that.
They haven't. I don't think they haven't won yet, but like they have to win somewhere to kick on. And it's like it's like there's. I see the saying with so many teams. If we're kind of a team that hasn't won in like how many games, they're going to eventually put in a good performance somewhere. And I'm not saying it's going to be Anfield, but it could be Anfield, where that could just be the turning point for their season. Because they do have the players. Like you got Bowen, you got Fulkrug. He hasn't played that much. Paqueta, they got Wan-Bissaka, Somerville. They got all of these players, and it's like you can only lose so much with them. They're eventually going to pick up a win throughout individual brilliance, not really to do with the system, but individual brilliance. I would say because how they play football, like from what I'm seeing with the centre backs that they're using, I said it on the group chat the other day. I was like, they could be so much better if they was to structure the team better, like the personnel of the team. Like Lopetegui's got favourites, isn't it? Kilman. I think Kilman's all right. I don't think he's outstanding as much as some people think, but like the personnel that they're using for like against Chelsea, Mavropanos and Kilman as a centre back partnership against Jackson. Like, have you not looked at Chelsea's attacking threat in terms of pace and? So it could play into our hands. I hope he does play both of them today because I want to see Nunes run the channels against them with Chiesa and Gakpo. But I think anything can happen today. Anything can happen.
I agree, man. Anything can happen. Guys, we will end it here. Big up everybody tuned in this morning, coming into the afternoon. Let me just double check. Enzo, I don't know if you have already got your thing scheduled, but I know Enzo is doing a call-in show after the game. Let me see. It's Enzo. Hey, Enzo, I don't see your thing up here, my bro. Oh, well, I tried. But guys, tune in. Obviously, ends. We'll have the calling show after the match. That's probably going to be around about 10ish, give or take. Obviously, if it doesn't go penalties and stuff like that, then yeah. So just make sure you're locked into football with ends. Make sure you follow Savage Talks Football as well. Big up my bros every single time. And love Harris again for joining me this morning. It was a good conversation, man. I like today's conversation. I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do my match reaction tomorrow, same time, 10:30, for the game. And yeah, we'll talk about some of the little bits in the game, match ratings and all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully we win, for everybody wants to win the competition. Hopefully we win. And then we can obviously move. I've got a new video out on Keeping It GTV. So make sure you guys, the link is there anyway. So make sure you guys check that out. And people, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you on the other side. Peace.